pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First action item is the that's what I was asking you about. Oh, it's delayed. Legal services. We have the council action summary sheet in front of you.
Your Honor, members of council, you're scheduled to discuss the procurement of legal services for the village effective on July 1st as a result of the resignation of village attorney Jeff Jubai. He submitted his resignation at the June 14th council meeting to be effective on June 30th. And council needs to determine how you wish to proceed to procure general civil legal services and municipal prosecution services after that date. What I recommend that the council do is to establish a council ad hoc committee to solicit proposals from legal firms, review those firms' qualifications, and make a recommendation to the council next week on possible selection of a firm for July 1st. You should also schedule a meeting, and I'm recommending that it be next Wednesday evening, which will give the committee as much time as possible to work through their process and be able to make a recommendation to you. So those would be the two actions that I'm requesting tonight. First, to schedule the special meeting for next Wednesday. And then the second action to establish the ad hoc committee and appoint your members to that committee.
James, do you want 7:30 again?
Yes. If not Thursday.
It's not that much of an invitation.
Yeah, okay, that'll work.
To me, is it to you guys?
No.
Okay, works good. Okay, 7:30, then that will be the time. You just want to make a motion.
30th.
Yes, Wednesday, June 30th.
All right, I'll make a motion to schedule a special meeting of the village council for Wednesday, June 30th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. for the purpose of selecting a firm or firms to provide general municipal legal services and municipal criminal prosecution services for the village on an interim basis effective July 1st, 2021.
Support.
Moved and supported on this motion. Can you call the roll as presented, Lisa?
Barb? Yes. Gwen? Yes. Jan?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes. Next Wednesday, June 30th, 7:30, same place. Next motion would be the ad hoc legal services review committee, rising on myself and two trustees.
I would be willing to be a trustee on that.
Okay.
My schedule,
Yes.
I would assume during the day would be the best time
All right.
because of being on school, I would have the opportunity.
Okay. How about you, Mike?
I can recommend some, but I suppose. I think they're gonna wind up costing us a lot more than what we were paying.
I'm pretty sure. Well, we can still look over the proposals if you want to be one of the trustees that does that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, cool. So then you get the motion there.
I'll make a motion to establish an ad hoc legal services review committee comprising of the village president, Bob Valdez, trustee Gwen Dusa, trustee Mike Gunner, to solicit proposals for interim legal services and municipal criminal prosecution services, review the qualifications of legal firms submitting proposals, and make a recommendation to the village council on selection of a firm or firms at its June 30th, 2021 special meeting.
I'll support.
Been supported on that motion. Can you call a roll on that motion as presented, Lisa?
James,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Barb,
Yes,
Jan,
yes,
Mike,
yes,
Bob,
Yes. Motion carried. All right.
Before we go any further, Mike, do you want us to just give you a call, to how we're gonna plan to do this, or do you have a suggestion on what we would be doing as this ad hoc committee, please?
I will be working with you on this.
Okay.
So I will be stepping the committee through this process
Okay.
and serving as administrative support for the committee. So I will help you and I can coordinate getting your meeting set up.
Okay,
Okay, all
thank
right.
you.
Did you catch all that, Mike?
I did, sounds good.
Okay,
Okay.
Your Honor, at this time, before you go into your next item, I would ask to excuse myself if you're going to be discussing.
All right, thank you. Darwin.
Thank you so much, council.
Thank you, Darwin.
thanks for your time there, Administrator.
At this time, I'd like to have Mr. Walsh, if you could give us a brief on Danielle Gross's background.
Yeah, so thank you, council. So maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago now, the council moved forward with the selection of Danielle Gross as your new village administrator. Following that, it's contingent upon a background check and contractual negotiations. The contract negotiations are underway. As soon as before we proceeded to the background check, I was contacted by Danielle, who said, I want to share something with you. And in the event that it comes up, I don't think it'll come up, but it could. I don't know how long things stay on financial records, but several years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I was involved in a bankruptcy. And I'll let Ms. Gross speak to that. I said, well, I appreciate knowing, but let's have the background check and see what comes up. And our investigator, who we use, who we retained, did find it, did ask some questions. Other than this, the background was extremely clean. We did driving, criminal, the sexual registry, and of course, financial. There were several questions that the investigator had for Ms. Gross. She answered all of them. She was very upfront about what happened. And again, I'll let her explain that. Some of the questions I had for her is, where's your credit score? Where's your credit score? What's happened since then? With a credit score now that exceeds I think it's 727, if I recall. Ms. Gross was able to get a mortgage after all this happened because of the way she's been able to get her credit back in place. And there was a car loan that was taken. And so other than this, the bankruptcy that occurred in 15 or 16, I can't recall the exact year, everything else came back clean. And you have some options in front of you. I know that I've shared with you my recommendation that I have full faith in, I had full faith in Danielle, and I still do. So at this time, I turn it over, if you don't mind, Mr. President, turn it over to Danielle, if there's anything that she wants to go into, because obviously she knows a lot more details than I do, but fully transparent about it. And we are here this evening, answer any questions you have, but maybe Danielle, maybe you just want to walk through what happened and where you are so far.
So thank you, Mr. Walsh. Ms. Gross, you have the floor.
But before you start, Danielle, hang on one second. Lisa, can we get it on just the speaker so that I can see her clearly? Just, yeah, I would appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Danielle.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for giving me just a few minutes or to, I guess, explain this or answer any questions that you guys might have. As Mr. Walsh stated, we did file bankruptcy. It was in 2015. Unfortunately, my husband had to have a major back surgery without insurance in 2009. We relocated our to Wyoming in 2010 because the economy in Michigan just wasn't great at that time. And we just found ourselves in a hole that we could not get out of. One of the worst experiences I've been through, definitely not proud of it. However, I'm a firm believer that things happen in our life to teach us lessons. And we've definitely learned a lot from that experience. We've worked very hard to build our credit back up. I think Frank did mention this, but we do have a 727 credit score now. We were able to purchase a home in 2017. We, again, just learned a lot of lessons from this, and we'll never put ourselves in that position again. But if you guys have specific questions for me, I would be more than happy to answer them.
I just want you to know that we're just doing our due diligence for the village. And that's the reason we just wanted you to explain the situation. I'm not.
No, I completely understand that, and I am fully supportive of transparency and being honest about things. So I completely get the process, and you know, I think this is definitely a good conversation to have so that we're all on the same page.
I don't have any questions.
I appreciate your time, Danielle, and your forthcoming, because as you well know, social media can be a good thing and sometimes not such a good thing. And I think having this very clear cut out in the beginning of the process, that it sets everything, as you just stated, transparent. And so there's not going to be any of this. Did you know? Yes, we did know. She's explained herself and has definitely given us, you know, the evidence to prove so. Just for clarification, so major back surgery was in 2009, moved to Wyoming because of the economic situation in Michigan in 2010. The finances caught up with you guys in 2015. Since then, you have recuperated with the credit score of 727. You've been able to have the home mortgage and as well as a loan for a vehicle.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, thank you for that information.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, then.
Yeah, I do, Bob. I mean,
Okay, sorry, Mike, go ahead.
sorry, I hate to jump in there. And really, most of the bankruptcy is nobody's business. But the one question that we need to do have answered as a council and as a potential administrator, Danielle, is how do we learn from that? Or, you know, how do we justify that when something like that has happened in your past? How do you run a multi-million-dollar municipality? And I think that's going to be the one question that everybody is going to have. I think we need a clear answer on that.
Yeah, so I think that's a completely fair question. You know, I think the biggest thing that I can tell you is I've been working for the city of Rollins, and I've been managing the city of Rollins overall is a $36 million budget. However, my department specifically are about $14 million. And I've been doing that successfully. And I am a very honest, open, transparent person. I don't want to hide anything. I would never do something that would put the village in a bad position. And I think that this experience, again, has been something in my life that I would not say I'm proud of, but that I have learned a lot from to make me better at budgeting. And that it's actually helped with financial preparation, management, and all of those things moving forward, because I now not only do I know what we should be doing, but I know what should not happen and what should not be done.
I appreciate that. I think that's just we're all looking for an answer, and we have to speak not only for ourselves, but for the entire town and in the best interest of the village. So again, to have, I guess, your take on it and your input on it, I think is vital for the community to move forward with you as a potential administrator.
With that,
Oh, sorry. Just gonna say, I agree, and thank you for letting me answer that question.
without any other discussion, then we will continue to move forward with the process. James, Trustee Eston, and Hayes and myself are we'll be contacting you. We're going to be negotiating a contract. Is that correct? I mean, that is what we're going to do. I mean,
Correct.
yep. So we'll be in touch with you, Danielle.
Thank you. I appreciate all of your time, and I appreciate your continued faith in me, and I look forward to serving the village and stepping up to the plate and just really jumping in feet first. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, this concludes the meeting. Good.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Yeah,
Okay, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Call the roll.
Mike,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Jan,
It's on you.
Jan, Gwen,
Yes.
Barb,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes. Motion adjourned. I mean, meeting adjourned. Oh,